of these cards. Galaxy-class starship project. We are introduced to that in maybe 2 episodes of Next Gen. The infamous booby trap episode, and then an equally infamous 7th season episode with a Troy Worf, or Roy. That's when they came together. That's what they were called, I guess. It was an odd episode. I'll have to put it in the links because I left the stuff downstairs. But both of the Galaxy-class development project episodes were off. We can talk about that later. What do we learn about the Galaxy-class project card? Well, card 047 discusses these ships built by Starfleet over the year. I don't know. So there's the background on the Galaxy-class ships. I get that people like them if they're next-gen fans. I don't know. It always seemed a bit disproportional for me, and maybe I'm just stealing that from somebody else I read. Yeah, it's a nice-looking ship. I don't know if I have I guess my favorite ship, like, since you asked, right? Or I asked myself these questions. I still like the TMP movie Constitution class refit. That's my favorite of the bunch, I suppose, if I were just to choose one. And I would follow that with the original series ship, especially with the remastered versions. So, as you ignore me, there's a little bit about the Galaxy project, booby trap, and that 7th season weird episode where the people fall in love and be paranoid and whatever. All right, so I'm taking a random card today. I have no idea what this card's gonna be, and let's see what we have. Are we ready? Oh, it's finally a Voyager card. Oh, good. So this looks like the Doctor working on 7 of 9. I can lighten this up a bit. Yeah, so 7 of 9's first episode, that's season 4 of Voyager, right? Scorpion Part 2. And forever and ever we now have that it's in my nature turtle, scorpion, spider analogy. Thanks. Amazing how that comes up here, there, and everywhere again. So how will the Galaxy help us with these Voyager questions? Now I'm thinking about it. I also like, I know it's not quite original, but I do like the Enterprise Scott Bakula ship. I don't know why. All right, Voyager time, finally. This is my first set of Voyager trivia, right? And I'm rewatching Voyager. Here's my plan in the kitchen. I only watch, if I'm lucky if I can get an hour in. But I'm just rotating DVDs and Blu-rays between, and I know I could stream as well, but I don't want to. Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and Discovery. Let's look into my world. How about you? All right, Voyager question. Voyager also a fine theme tune. I gotta give him that. Equinox. What happened to the Voyager's doctor? Hey, so these apparently may be doctor-oriented questions on the card. Now that's what I'm thinking. All right. Equinox was. Yeah, I liked Equinox. I'll have to see who wrote it and who was doing it, because it finally brought some realism to Voyager. I think it's the same realism that Ronald D. Moore wanted to bring to the show, but he only lasted like 2 weeks. And luckily, Ron Moore's experience brought us Battlestar Galactica later on. So, even if things don't go the right way we want them to, we can pick up the pieces and do something else. So yeah, the episode of Equinox is on the caretaker brings another ship into the Delta Quadrant, and it's only by the Equinox show that we learn that. But this crew takes a different direction. They They find this life form. It's similar to the tardigrade concept from Discovery Season 1. But the ethical dilemma is that in order to propel themselves, they're really abusing this life form. And so in order to not have an ethical dilemma for that ship's EMH, they disable his ethical subroutines. That's what's going on in the Equinox episode. There's this odd bit with 7 of 9 in there and Captain Ramus, the captain of the Equinox, that I don't get where that beat came from. But yeah, it's worth watching. It's a nice 2-parter. Equinox. Not bad. Hey, Bosh. I still don't know the actor's name because he was a character actor for so long when I was really watching TV. But the guy who plays Bosh plays First Officer of the Equinox in this episode. So yeah, go watch Equinox. Not a bad Voyager 2-parter. He was shut off. No, he was not. He was disrupted by a nuc-leo-genic life form. What were the was that species 8472? No, they were from fluidic space. That's right. More on that as we go. His ethical program was turned off. Well, sure, but no, his ethical subroutines were turned off. Look at me get all pedantic. Hey, trivia question. All right, so that's Equinox. Who sabotaged the modified warp drive? This whole question is about the Equinox 2-parter. Ew. I haven't seen this. I still haven't seen it in, I would say 5 years. At best. I'm just going to say it was the Voyager's EMH, because what they do in this episode is they swap the EMHs, right? Yes, they do. Because 7 is captured by the Equinox crew for some reason, and then the Equinox captain disables the Voyager doctor's ethical subroutines, and then he gets all psycho on 7 of 9 because he can take her eye out or whatnot. That's initially what I thought the other side of this card was, that scene, but she was all Borgified, so I could be wrong. I'm just going to say that the EMH did this. It's either the EMH or 7. So, let's see. Well, okay, so I'm going to give myself half credit because I was a coward and I decided on 2 different answers. But yeah, so 7 was on board. I guess they needed her nanoprobes for something. I don't remember how that beat went in that episode. But there you go. Now, I think what bugs me about the Equinox episode is you think they would have found this ship sooner with subspace communications, and if this is imagine either the Voyager or the Equinox, or just once they get into the Delta Quadrant, they might have a continuous communications buoy out there. But okay, whatever. There it is. All right, we're going on this episode. It's happening. Where did the Equinox try to hide from the Voyager? I have no idea because I don't really remember what happened in the episode. It's like most episodes. For me, I'm just, what are the character beats? The plots often aren't as important because Trek's about the people most of the time. And the people get into situations, and some of those situations are all the same. Let's just say that the Equinox hit itself in a nebula because there weren't any spatial anomalies around at the time. Or perhaps they hid themselves in a fissure, not fissure, not really a minute, fissure. All right, don't know this one, really don't. Oh, look at me. No. Oh, that's the wrong answer. I thought this was highlighted. I got real excited there. I didn't think I was right on that one. Okay. So it's not a plasma storm or a Mutara-class nebula. Because, we got our money's worth out of those Star Trek II special effects throughout all of Next Gen. It was always a nebula. Okay, so the answer is in a planet with a parthogenic atmosphere. Right. So there was a planet in this two-parter. Remember the Bryceman? I think his name was Bryceman now. I don't know. It's Ransom or Bryceman or no. Ransom's the one from Lower Decks, right? Yeah. So Bryceman had he didn't have a holodeck, but he had this little emitter that he just put on the back of his neck, and then he would go to the sea. He found a nice sea, the ocean, a beach. Beach is what I'm trying to get at this morning. And he would just take him to the beach. I have the same thing with my iPod Classic in the basement. I can just do ocean surf and just channel out the rest of the noise around me. All right, so it's a planet. Wrong on that one. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna go watch Equinox, and you should too. When the nuc-leo-genic life forms finally, okay, so that's what they are. So this is the version, the tardigrade from Discovery Season 1. Here they're nuc-leo-genic life forms. And they finally caught the Equinox. What did they do with it? I think they were just going to destroy it. Right? They attacked it. Finally caught. Oh, yeah, well, they were going to do something with it, but then Bryceman blew it up. Right? Or, because then he put his beach CD back on. And just went into it, and boom. That's how that ended. Well, let's see what they did. Spoilers on an almost like 20-year show now. Over 20. Okay. Yeah, way over, like 25. Yeah. Well, they didn't drag it into subspace. They destroyed it. All right, so that's what I said, right? I don't remember what I just said. I think they destroyed it. And, one more. The Equinox Bridge was a redress of what ship's control room in Flashback? I don't remember what Flashback is. I have to get my Voyager compendium now, or companion, and start reading it. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to remember the names of all the episodes by this time in Trekdom, so I don't know what was going on in Flashback. Damn. What ship's control room? Well, let's think about other ships. There was a cool it was a cool episode. They did the Andy Dick episode with Prometheus, but that wasn't a real Federation ship in the first place. Although I think they did novels based on that ship because people liked it so much. But that wasn't Flashback. Yeah, you got me on this one. Now I have to go watch Flashback, wherever that. And I also like the one way into the, what is it called, like latent image, where the holographic doctor goes like 600, 700 years into the future, and the Voyager is just a criminal ship that destroyed this planet, and they all get to ham it up and play evil people. That was kind of fun. All right, so I don't know. Can't remember what Flashback was. It The Raven? No, that show was called The Raven, so that's not the. I don't know what the Flashback was. Was the okay? Watch me work through this, everyone. Was that the one with Tuvok on the Excelsior? That was like the anniversary episode, and so George Takei's in it, and Grace Lee Whitney's in it as Rand. That's got to be it. That's the. So while Deep Space Nine was redoing the Tribble episode, Voyager just put Tuvok back on the bridge of the the Excelsior, and it was a kind of a Star Trek 6 alignment. That's what was going on in that issue. Too much comics, too much Star Trek episode was what I'm talking about. So that's got to be what Flashback is. So I'm just going to say Excelsior. No. Yay! Yeah, I had to work through it, you know. It's not Jeopardy. I don't have a time limit. I can walk through the issues for myself. And there we go. And not the Defiant. So that's Equinox. That was my first Voyager card, and I'm surprised. Sometimes I think I'm not big, you know, I don't have the Voyager in the long-term memory, but maybe I do. I have watched the season, the whole run of the show, at least 3 times since it went off the air. I've run those DVDs over and over again. All right. You know, I went looking for some Stargate trivia cards. They don't exist. At least on eBay they don't. Okay, let's end it for the day. That's Voyager. That's Equinox. Not a bad 2-parter. So go watch it, and maybe I will too. And that's the day, and go have one.